This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The biggest stars, the brightest stage. AT&T WNBA All-Star 2025 comes to Indianapolis July 18th through 19th. Tune into the game July 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
This is Jana Kramer from Wind Down with Jana Kramer. When we were deciding on our appliances for the house, Samsung was at the top of our list. And I love my Samsung appliances, especially because they're so reliable. And with my busy schedule, having reliable appliances has been a game changer. It's no wonder Samsung is the #1 brand for customer satisfaction. That's why I'm excited to tell you all about Samsung's new line of smart appliances featuring their brand new bespoke AI laundry combo. This incredible magic machine washes and dries in one machine, one load, no transfers, no timers, no rewashing needed. New bespoke AI appliances. This is home living made simple. For more information, visit samsung.com/bespoke.
68-minute cycle based on 27-inch combos, based on using a super speed cycle only with a 10-pound DOE load, cotton 50% plus polyester 50%. Individual results may vary based on actual load content.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Mall of America's mystery cards are back, and we're bringing them to you all summer long. Come grab yours at KFAN events throughout the summer and wherever you see our KFAN street team. Then make sure to redeem them at Mall of America for fun prizes and big discounts. See full list of events at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man program. I'm Common East Tennessee. You're getting ripped. So now the interim guy wants to dump Kaprizov. I just love it. We understand you're upset about being overlooked by the Wild yet again, Tanner, but if you continue with these sort of takes, you're going to be relegated to the rosy rung of credibility, a few notches below meat sauce, and just barely above Barney. Pull it together. I just love that. But you are right. If someone else asked, what do you think, let's say that what you suggested, that if, let's say he said, you knew he wasn't coming back and you wanted to trade him. What do you think you could get on the market for a guy? I mean, what could you get draft picks? Could you get not just, fourth line defenseman? Could you get, what do you think the haul could be if you were able to trade?
Oh, you'd get quite a haul. Now, when he has 1 year left and he's away, a year from free agency, he's going to have a lot of choice on where he wants to go, right? Because a team's not going to give up a haul for him only to find out he's there for a year and then he leaves to go elsewhere. Sure. Yeah. So, he'd be basically picking his destination at that point, which is, so you wouldn't ever really get the full return for a guy like Kaprizov that you really should deserve for a player of that caliber. But yeah, I mean, he's bringing top 6 forward, maybe 2 multiple draft picks, first round picks in return. And the Wild, one of the biggest mistakes they made previously was, remember, they let Marian Gaborik go to free agency and didn't get anything for him. So your one star player that you had in this franchise, you just let go for nothing. So they can't do that same thing. But I don't think he's going anywhere, Kaprizov.
Trent, it's common. Why do you think nobody in the association ever tries the Jabbar skyhook shot? Trent responded. He says, in today's game, most of your big men are taught to play away from the basket and not with their backs to the basket. So coaches are not teaching that shot in today's game.
Makes a lot of sense.
But why don't they go back to that? I mean,
because they're working on their 3-pointers.
Yeah. But if you are under contract with me, like Béranger, and you go, kid, come here. We want to teach you to play with your back to the basket a little bit too. And we want you to start doing this thing called the sky hook. Why don't you start watching? What's he going to say? I'm not going to do it? Well, then you won't play. Sorry. The kid's going to say, sure, whatever you want me to do. So, yeah, I know what you're saying. They want to make the 3-pointers, but it says here, today's game, most of your big men are taught to play away from the basket and not with the backs to the basket. So coaches are not teaching that shot in today's game. Well, you ever watch Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? This guy was pretty effective. You want to dial up his numbers and tell me what kind of a basketball player he was? He reminds me, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar reminded me a lot of Lou Alcindor. They were very identical in the way they played. You could even mistake one guy for the other.
Sure. Also, can we get someone that thinks outside the box and doesn't just go with whatever the rest of the league's doing? When they zig, sometimes you got to zag.
That's exactly right. So you take and you could do it down in the G League if you really want to keep them. I don't, but if you do, say we want you to study Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's plenty of tape out there. I know some of it's probably grainy. And it's not an HD. I get that. But you could still get film and say, oh, that's how he did it. Because that shot was virtually unstoppable. Can you IHOP Jabbar's numbers real quick and just see how many points he scored? I wonder how many of those were. I mean, almost all of his points to me seem to be with the sky hook. Did they even have a 3-point shot when he was playing? And if they did, I don't ever remember seeing him shooting. He wasn't taking logo threes.
My gosh, he put some big numbers over a long period. So, by the way, he started in 1969.
Yep. His
career ended in 1989.
Wow. 20 years.
Only one season he didn't make the All-Star game.
Yeah. Now he was probably sick.
And even that year, he was 4th in MVP voting, the year he didn't make the All-Star game.
How many points he put up?
I don't know if I can get you total points, but he averaged 24.6. That went down a little bit the last couple of years, but during the chunk of his career, I mean, his third season, he averaged 34.8 points. He won the MVP 6 times.
I'd teach the sky hook.
4 years he led the league in blocks. 1 year led the league in rebounds.
It's
one season he shot at a 58% clip. Actually, no, 60%. I just saw a better year. 1979, 1980, he shot 60.4% from the field.
It's not that hard of a shot. I used to do it in men's league all the time. Pick up basketball. I'm 5'8", and I used to do the sky hook. I could make 1 or 2 a game. I mean, because you're not even shooting that far away from the basket. You're taking it into the paint, and you've seen the sky hook, right, Teneby?
Yes, yeah. Of course.
You're like this, and there's no way you can't block it. It's impossible to block it because you're kind of throwing a little lob like this with your right hand if you're right-handed, and it's sort of like you're almost, if I remember correctly, you're like, you know how golfers stands on either side of the ball like that? They don't face the ball, right? Like, a quarterback is right there facing the defense. You're standing sideways, right? And you're doing that with the sky hook. You're standing with your left shoulder, if you're right-handed, to the defender, and you're throwing up a sky. He can't block it. Your mama can't block it. Your daddy can't block it. The police can't block it. I don't even think Joan Béranger.
The only way you can stop him is deny him the ball.
That's
the only way to stop him.
That's the only way.
6-time MVP. 19-time NBA All-Star. By the way, the MVPs, that's a record. 15-time All-NBA team. 11-time NBA All-Defensive Team selection. Was a member of 6 NBA championship teams. Also was a member of 2 more as an assistant coach. Was twice voted NBA Finals MVP. Broke the NBA's career scoring record in 1984 that held up until LeBron passed it in 2023.
Skyhook. 2 words, or is that 1 word? In password, could you use Skyhook?
Second greatest scorer of all time, and no one tries to replicate what made him successful.
Why would you? That's just, it can't be done.
Like, when Michael Jordan became a thing, everyone was trying to replicate what Michael Jordan did.
Well,
now everyone's trying to do what Steph Curry does.
Every kid in the world was going, I want to be like Mike.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see that he is me. Oh, if I could be. There was a song made about it. I think it was, I think the song was done by Wiz Khalifa. He did a song called I Want to Be Like Mike. Sometimes I wish that he were me. Oh, if I could be like, people were trying to replicate Mike. If I could be like Kareem.
There's a One of Us connection as to where the Skyhook came from.
Oh, really?
Where it originated from.
Pray tell me more.
NBA's Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer George Mikan developed a devastating hook shot while playing for DePaul University in the mid-1940s. As did Jerry Lucas playing for Ohio State 15 years later. The hook shot became a trademark of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the NBA's second-place all-time leading scorer who was proficient at the shot at a much greater distance from the basket than most players. The greater distance and resulting higher arc on the shot led to the name Skyhook, which was coined during Abdul-Jabbar's tenure with the Bucks by the team's radio announcer, Ed Doucette, who stated, quote, "That hook was so high that it was coming out of the sky." The Skyhook was almost never blocked, and it was accomplished by only a few players known for their extreme height like Wilt Chamberlain and Manute Bol.
Think about it. Tenneby, I would say there were the 3 most unstoppable things in NBA history. Kareem Skyhook, Elijah Wan's fadeaway jumper, and Nikola Petrovic, if he could catch the ball in transition. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
I always love that one.
Pekovic?
Yeah. Pekovic.
Or is that...
If he could catch the ball in transition, he'd be nearly unstoppable.
He would be... Who did say that?
Corey Cove.
Come on. That didn't win the PST?
No.
What was his name again?
Nikolai, I think it was Nikolai Pekovic.
Is that Serbian? Or is he Swiss?
Nikola Pekovic.
Nikola Pekovic. So it's not Pekovic. Well, that in the United States it is. But where is he from? Croatia? He sounds like he's from Croatia, Serbia. And you know me, my knowledge spans the globe of, trying to match names with ethnicity, where their country they're from.
Well, it says Bijola Polji, which is located in the northern region of Montenegro.
Oh, he's from Montenegro.
But then after Montenegro, it says Yugoslavia. So is Montenegro a part of Yugoslavia?
I don't know, but here it is.
I don't know how
Ready?
it works.
Nikola Pekovic.
Nikola Pekovic. So you pronounce it however you want to, right? I just call him Peck.
I have a feeling that pronunciation is not correct.
But I like it anyways.
Nicola.
Well, it's on YouTube. It's got to be right, isn't it? YouTube's never wrong. You got a keyword?
I do. The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword BILLS at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is BILLS. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
Fan.
We're out of vibes. 13:14 past. I'm Common. He is 10 and B. Mark Rosen, if he doesn't get a headache between now and 2 o'clock tomorrow, will join us at 2 o'clock. Brad, Sean, Brian, KFAN text line wide open, 64686. Here's one, 10 and B. And I'm always... I never know if this is real or if the text messengers, what do the kids call it? Trolling, trying to get me going. This one says, I can't believe you guys just did a 15-minute segment on the Skyhook. How about some Derby talk? And I'm thinking the Derby's not until May. And then he says, Buxton is playing it if you guys didn't know. And that's in capital letters. So Derby, I guess he means the home run derby.
What are we supposed to say about it?
Well, I'm about to get to that. Oh. But the first thing is you're not playing in the Derby, you're participating in it. You're not playing. You're playing a game. This is a competition. You're participating. Plus, there is nothing to say. 10B, home run derby tonight. Buxton's in it. How many do you think he'll hit?
I think he'll probably hit about 13, 14.
Do you think he'll win?
I think he's got a shot. I mean, there's a lot of good other players like O'Neal Cruz.
Okay, great. There's your Derby talk. Hope you're happy. One of the most overrated events. I don't even really know why they do it. I guess because they say, well, we can't just have, heaven forbid we just have the All-Star game. Right? Just have the All-Star game. Play. I think you know how I feel anyways, Tim. I think All-Star games, they don't do much for me. They're generally, I think you and I have talked about this many, many times. Baseball, I think, is about the only one where they probably do, they are sweaties. They do try hard because as long as you're up at the plate with a bat in your hand, you don't want to embarrass yourself and just, at 3, I'm just going to kind of whiff at the ball because I really don't care. And if a ball's hit you in the outfield, you're not going to just, kind of dog it to it so it falls in for a hit. If you're a pitcher, you don't want to get lit up. So you're only playing an inning or two before you replace. You probably try hard. Hockey, there's no checking. We know why. I don't expect them to check. Why get hurt in an all-star game when the team needs you for the season? You're an all-star, it means you're real good. Your team really needs you. You're not the last 7 guys on the Timberwolves bench. In football, of course they're not going to try. After blocking and tackling and running, especially the linemen, right? They're not going to sit there and try to... You ever see a lineman after the game? They got big gouges in their arms and scratches, and their knees are all banged up, and their ankles are busted up. They've got toe jam football. And you're gonna tell me they're gonna try in that game? And which one? In NBA, they don't play any defense either. Matter of fact, much like they did, we got to do a Commissioner's Cup. We got to bribe these guys. It's like, I won't give you an allowance, son, until you take out the garbage. You have to bribe your kid to do things. You shouldn't have to ask professional athletes to try hard. But they do. They have a Commissioner's Cup now to try to get them to try harder during early regular season basketball games. And so... And what did they do for the NBA different now? They still don't play very hard, do they? They just play to a certain...
I think they're trying to come up with an international solution.
Yeah.
Because they saw it worked for the NHL with their World Cup.
Yeah.
You were asking about, and I know it's a rhetorical question because you know the answer, as to why they're even doing the home run derby. Every answer is always money. When it comes to sports. It's another day where you get 40,000 people in a stadium, and it's another day in which they'll be on national television. But there is a reason, like, I couldn't even tell you the home run derby format anymore because it's changed so many times because they know people don't like the derby as much as they used to.
Yeah.
So they keep trying to come up with new, innovative ways to get people excited about it.
This text message says derby's still legitimate because stars still participate. Well, a lot of much like in the Pro Bowl, You're down to your 7th starting quarterback because the first 6 go. One of them's playing in the big game, so he's not going to play, right? Second one might be in the big game, and the other guy goes, oh, you know what? I forgot. I got some paint to watch dry, got socks to sort, and they're delivering a boiling hot vat of asphalt. Nobody wants to play in that game. That's why they started playing touch football. And I think they even have now where for Pro Bowl week, they play like hacky sack and cornhole and all these silly games like that. And I guess if you want to watch your favorite football players play cornhole, great. Go ahead, watch it. It's like, well, no, just because of legitimate stars, generally they're down to the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th asks before anybody plays.
It's probably not the top 8 guys.
No, it's not the top 8
not the top 8 home run hitters in MLB.
Is Aaron Judge in it?
I don't believe so, no.
Is Ohtani in it?
I don't believe so, no.
No. They don't want to participate in it. It's silly. And do you really? I mean, think about it. So they're legitimate stars. Tom Kelly standing on the mound with a cigar in his mouth. And he's basically throwing underhanded so the guy can hit it out of the park. Who cares? Yeah, he can hit a baseball really far. He should be able to. It's not that Tennessee can hit a home run and slow pitch softball, but he's not even trying. It happened to him before.
Opposite field.
Opposite field. You should be at home run derby. Check swing home run derby in Tennessee. It's like, if that entertains you, watching a pitching coach, because they get to select any pitcher they want.
Yep.
And they basically throw underhanded. I think they do. Don't they throw underhanded? Or do they actually throw overhand?
Well, they throw overhand, but it's 75, 80 miles per hour. They're not chucking it in there. They're not throwing curveballs and sliders and splitters and knuckleballs.
Or slurves.
Or slurves. Or sinkers.
It's legitimate. If you watch Home Run Derby tonight, you need long-term psychiatric care, and even then there's very little hope. Or watch Rockford Files. Watch a rerun of Gilligan's Island. We watched last night, Deuce and I watched the one when Gilligan finds mind-reading seeds. It's so good. Because now they can...
Huh?
He finds mind-reading seeds, and so now he can read the skipper's mind. Then they find out it's the seeds that are doing it, so they all want the seeds, and then they all eat them. And then... So... Like Ginger and Marianne, they're fighting, right? Oh, so you think that I get the skipper and the professor to do all my work for me, do you? And then
I always love
so
that
then
one.
Ginger asks Skipper. Marianne says, you try to get me to do all your work, and Skipper just kind of looks away and kind of grimaces, and she goes, oh, so you do think I try to... They're just going back, and because they're reading each other's mind. The best one is when Skipper says to Gilligan, because Gilligan tells Professor, I think this mind-reading seeds are bad for us because we're all fighting now. He goes, and you're right. He goes, I thought these mind-reading seeds, if they would be eaten by all the leaders of all the countries, then we could have world peace. Then he looks at Gilligan and goes, what do you mean that's the stupidest idea you've ever heard?
I always love that one.
That's more entertaining than Home Run Derby. It just is. And if you haven't tried it, Gilligan's Island, you can find on Tubi. Tubi or not Tubi. You've ever heard of Tubi before?
Oh, yeah.
There are so many stations. I can't believe how many are out there. Dude says we can find it on Tubi. I go, what the hell is Tubi? It's a TV station, some kind of a streaming service or something. So we watched Gilligan's Island last night. Some people would say watching Gilligan's Island rather than Home Run Derby is the stupidest idea in the entire world, much like world peace. But nevertheless, we'll pause. And we got one more segment to go here on the Common Man program here on the Fan. Couple 13, 14 past. I'm Common. He is Tennessee. Big Ticket, JG next. We're back tomorrow at 12 noon, and we will be joined by the legendary Mark Rosen about 2 o'clock or so. This story from a little over 2 hours ago, Tennessee. Dateline, La Quinta, California. It's an Associated Press story. NFL Hall of Famer John Elway will not be charged after his business partner, Jeffrey Spurbeck, was fatally injured falling out of his golf cart at a Southern California golf resort community last April. That's according to authorities. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco told KUSA-TV in Denver that investigators found nothing criminal and ruled it a tragic accident. Spurbeck, he was Elway's agent and a business partner, died after suffering an injury when he tumbled out of a golf cart driven by the former quarterback April 26, Madison Club in La Quinta, east of Los Angeles. Spurbeck's cause of death was blunt force trauma. Manner of death was an accident that occurred when the passenger fell from the golf cart, according to the county coroner's report. Bianco said, "I've looked at video 100 times and there's no explanation as to why he fell off. He just fell off." No immediate comment from Elway, who at the time said, "There are no words to truly express the profound sadness I feel with the sudden loss of someone who's meant so much to me." He says, "I looked at video 100 times. Was this on video?" Because Bianco, who is the Riverside County Sheriff, says, "I've looked at video 100 times, and there's no explanation as to why he fell off. He just fell off." Now, during the break, when I saw this story 2 breaks ago, I Googled Spurbeck golf cart video, and I didn't see any. And maybe
Maybe it just hasn't been released to the public.
Right. And if there was video, I wonder how there would have been, because I wish I remembered the details of the story, because I don't know if we talked about it. I don't think we did when the story first broke. And I think it was, I don't know if it was, I don't think they had just been playing golf. I think it was some kind of an event of some sort. I don't recall exactly. And I think originally people were wondering, was he standing on the back? Because a lot of times, like, for instance, if at scramble golf tournaments, you're bringing a bunch of people out, there would be somebody that might be standing, you're not supposed to, but you'll stand on the back of the golf cart, you know, where the bags go, and you stand there and you hold onto the frame of the cart that holds up the roof, right? And you're really not supposed to do that. Or if he was just a passenger, and if it was because my only assumption is it must have been like a quick turn, or else you just fall out. I mean, which does seem strange if you're riding in a golf cart. And again, now is this a souped up golf cart? That's the other. There's so much I don't know about this, because if you're driving a golf course golf cart, they have governors on them, I think most of them. And so they keep them where they don't go over a certain amount of, as a matter of fact, like there are courses like Oak Marsh, for instance, where when you're going over the bridges, it slows it. I think they go at 13 miles an hour and they slow it down to 10. It automatically slows down. There's nothing you can do about it, right?
The amount of times I'm heading towards the rough, towards the woods.
Well, yes.
And then it slows down and I can only reverse my way out. It won't let me go forward anymore.
That's exactly right.
Happens quite a bit to me.
So, you know, whether there was a quick turn and he tumbled out, or if he just, I don't remember. Nothing in here says if alcohol was
I was going to
involved.
say that's a possibility.
That's a possibility, but and again, I'm just, they've decided no charges should be filed, and they're probably right, because it probably was just a tragic accident. I mean, I've actually rolled a golf course back in my Haight-Ashbury days. We were crazy. We did all sorts of crazy stuff. Greenhaven Golf Course. Me, the Poker King, and one of the gals that was in our group, you know, our party group, Marianne. I think it was Marianne. I was driving too. Nobody got hurt, amazingly. I mean, that's how you dump a golf cart.
Sure.
You can get killed. I don't know how we didn't get killed, but I got a lot of stories to me, and I'll tell many of them when I write that next book. I have to finish selling out the rest of the stories in my book. So, speaking of books, he's off the hook. You mentioned curveballs during our discussion of the Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
You said they're not seeing any curveballs. They're just seeing these lollipop tosses, 50, 60 miles an hour. 2 things. It was the first curveball that I ever saw in Pony League Baseball when I realized I would never be a really good hitter. You know, the first kid that could throw a curveball? You know, you didn't see it when you were playing with your buddies. Nobody could throw a curveball. You just threw it over the plate. You try to throw a fastball, right? Then you get to, like, you know, 6th, 7th grade. It was 7th grade baseball. I think I saw it wasn't when I was in 7th grade. You know, that's why I told you about that. When I made the diving catch, the coach called out my name. I told him, "It's call." And then I another. That's when I accused Buxton of doing the old. I'll get a bad jump intentionally off the ball so that I can make a diving catch when it's not necessary. So after I made the first one I made was for real. Well, the second one, when the coach wanted to know who I was out in the outfield, I said, I'm going to do it again now so that he thinks I'm Ricky Henderson, right? Of course, Ricky Henderson wasn't playing baseball then, I don't think. Who would have been the, thought it was Paul Blair. That's the era I was playing in, right?
Who?
And when I made the fake diving catch, he knew I made a fake diving catch, and that was the end of my junior high baseball career. But here's what this story, I just found this story right before he said curveballs are disappearing in Major League Baseball as velocity obsession reshapes the pitching landscape. This is Dateline Atlanta because everyone, all the beautiful people of baseball, if you're a ball guy, you're in Atlanta right now. Curveballs have been thrown a curve. Curveballs have been thrown a curve by a modern game valuing velocity over variety, disappearing from the major leagues by more than 20,000 annually. The Athletics have thrown curves on just 2.5% of pitches this season. The overall big league figure dropped from 10.7 in 2019 to 8.1% last year. That's the lowest since MLB started tracking in 2008 before rising slightly to 8.5 this season. There were 22,962 fewer curveballs in 2024 than 5 years earlier. Tampa Bay pitcher Shane Baz. In France, that would be Shane Baz. You don't really see a lot of people throwing 12-6 curveballs anymore. What's a 12-6 curveball?
Like the 12 and the 6 on the clock, right?
Oh.
So you're starting your releases at the 12 and going down.
The 12.
The way you flick your wrist goes from 12 to 6.
You're a ball guy. Well, you coach it now, right?
Well, I actually took the summer off from coaching, but yeah.
Maybe taking that summer off, they'll see the team doesn't play as much, and then they'll beg you to come back.
I don't think that'll be a concern.
They'd rather have a hard cutter slider. It's a lot easier for guys to throw a sweeper than it is a 12-6 curveball. So they're taking the easy way out.
Yeah.
I can't throw that, so why not? Skyhook's too hard to master. I'll just go ahead and I won't play with my back to the basket. I'll just jack up low. It's more fun that way. I'll just throw up low goal threes. If the shooting guard can, I can too. Baz, 28.1% is seventh in curveball use. Chuck Morton for Baltimore is at 39%. Chuck's old school, though. He's 41 years old. That's ancient in baseball, right? Any sport. If you're in your 40s playing one of the major four, you're
a dinosaur.
You got longevity going. He says, he was reading some article, or maybe he was reading some pitching book. You basically throw it if you're rethrowing a knife, huh? You basically throw it like you're rethrowing a knife. What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. You basically throw it like you're rethrowing a knife. 10 a beat for $2.
Yep.
Can you tell me who invented the curveball? There's no way.
No idea.
I was going to say for $20,000, but then if you just threw out a name like Joe Smith and it was, then I'd owe you $20,000.
I'll go with Burt Blyleven.
Candy Cummings, a gal, came up with it.
That's impressive.
Isn't that impressive? Candy Cummings, a 145 game Hall of Fame, 145 game winner and Hall of Famer, credited with inventing the curveball in 1863 when he was 14 years old. I don't even know if I can believe this, but I'm going to go with it. He discovered the movement when he threw seashells into the Atlantic Ocean. So, look at that. Look at that seashell. And then she sells seashells on the seashore at sunrise? No. Some attribute the curve to amateur pitcher Fred Goldsmith in 1870. Who do you think, Tenemy? Do you think it's Freddie Goldsmith or do you think it's Candy Cummings?
I like the name Candy Cummings better, so I'm going to go with Candy.
I'm going to give it to Candy at 14 years old. With an average velocity of 80.2 miles per hour, curves are the slowest and loopiest of breaking pitches, often disrupting the timing of batters for the smoke. The phrase throwing a curveball has become part of the English language, like a screwball, more a phrase than a pitch these days. Koufax, Ryan, Kershaw were among the consummate curveballers, bamboozling batters as balls they gave up on dropped like hang gliders into the strike zone. New York Yankees senior advisor Omar Minaya said, it's become an industry of throwing over pitching. When you pitch, you use different pitches. What we're seeing in the industry as a whole, especially with showcases, is people are looking more at velocity than pitchability. As a scout, I said that, unfortunately. And you and I have been talking about that forever. And that's what's really changed baseball. Why the Twins, after the season in which they finally broke that 0 for 18 post-game losing skid, won a playoff series, and then they lost the second round. And they did their end of the season, news conference, sort of wrapping everything up. They said, we're not changing the way we approach the game. We're going to swing as hard as we can and throw as hard as we can. That's how you play baseball nowadays. And so you don't see the art of pitching anymore. It is more just throwing. It's not pitching, it's throwing. Rear up and throw as hard as you can. And, I don't think baseball's suffering for it. I don't know. I think there was a lull in baseball. I don't think it's as popular as it is as popular as it once was. It's hard to compare numbers from the 50, 40, the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s because there were fewer people on the planet back then. But percentage-wise, back in the olden days, Tenneby, the three big sports were boxing, baseball, and horse racing. Those three are nowhere near the biggest sports anymore, right? It's football, and then it's football, and then it's football. And then after that, maybe basketball. I don't know, soccer, I guess, worldwide. But I'm talking about United States, North America. And for me, part of baseball is we discussed this last week also. I love the pitch clock, and I was against it at first because I thought that was, I was one of those guys that was part of the charm of the game. There's no clock. You might, rarely, but you might have a 2-hour, 10-minute game, or you might have a 4-10. That's the way it goes. And you know what? If it's 4-10 and you're done after 3, just sell your tickets to somebody else. Just ask A-Rod or Lori to do it for you. They'll take a little cut of it and you get some of your money back. So if you want to leave the game, you leave the game. But if you really like baseball, you didn't mind a long game. Because, it was a thinking man. So like, what's he going to throw here? You look at him, he's not the best curveball hitter in the league. This had a game too. It happened at the Saints game. There's always somebody in the crowd that thinks they know a lot of baseball, and they comment after like every pitch. Well, that one looked a little outside from here. Then the guy hit a slow chopper. He goes, that was a chopper. Didn't get his bat quite on it. I want to turn around and say, yeah, I know. I've watched the game before. I don't need a running commentary from you during the game. If you want to do a running commentary, go up in the booth. Apply for the job as analyst guy. Play-by-play guy. But but they want to show you that they know the game better than you do. I know the game. Watch me explain it to people. Just keep it to yourself. But yeah, nobody throws a curveball. Well, some guys do, and they throw it occasionally.
It's very rare, though. I was at the game Friday night at Target Field, and they have, on their Jumbotron scoreboard, which they have like billions of scoreboards now, they have a separate scoreboard that shows after every pitch, it immediately tells you not only the speed of the pitch, but what pitch it is. And that was an observation I had made Friday night was, they aren't throwing curveballs. It's always, I don't even know, the technology, the fact they can determine the difference between a 2-seam fastball and a 4-seam fastball. And I don't think they can. I
thought the same thing. They can't.
A slider and a splitter and a fastball and change it. And it's up there immediately with the exact miles per hour. Yeah. But I had made that up without even reading your story first. I was like, man, they just don't throw traditional curveballs very much anymore. And that used to be, after fastball and changeup, that was the pitch.
That's it. Dallas, we just mentioned three of the best pitchers of all time, Koufax, Ryan, and Kershaw. That's what they did. They threw the curve. Yeah. That was their money pitch. Dallas Braden's a former pitcher, now a broadcaster. He longs for the days of deception. Here's his quote. You almost sympathize with the hitter in the moment because you're like, damn, I couldn't have hit that. He couldn't hit that. Nobody could have hit that. The eephus is now almost like as close as we get. And when a position player's on the mound to an aesthetically pleasing pitch like that, just the visual presentation of the pitch starting in the clouds and ending up at the ankles. I think he said it well. I didn't understand a word he said. Ephus this, aesthetically that. Then I like this. Nike's Chicks Dig the Long Ball commercial defined baseball in the steroid era. These days, the slogan might as well be Velo Rules. There were just 214 pitches of 100 miles per hour or more in 2008. Just 214. There were a record 3,880 2 years ago. In this year, we're on track for 3,252. So going down a little bit, but still, Tennessee, that's in, so 08 to 25, how many years is that? 16? No.
17, yeah.
17 years? 214 curveballs. 214 pitches of 100 miles per hour or more to 2 years ago, 3,880 is just throw it as hard as you possibly can.
Yep.
And that's what then each section of the story has a headline to it. Throw as hard as you can for as long as you can is the mantra. And, but
until you get anywhere near 100 pitches, then we can't have you throwing anymore.
Yeah. And that's why there's so much. That's why there's a lack of big time pitching, I think, because pitchers don't go over. You really can't tell if you got a great pitch. The only really good ones are the ones that can get into the seventh inning, I think. That's how you determine a pitcher enough. Can he get into the seventh inning? He must be pretty good at what he does. And, but look, like any business, like we do research, and they realize common just talking about nothing really works well. That's what they've determined, right? So they just let me go. Just let them just talk about anything. And I'm sure baseball has looked at their numbers and say, the people sitting out in the stands in those little patio areas and whatever they call them, the home run porch or whatever, that they're just drinking their Mini Minosos, those mimosas. Yeah, they were named after Minnie Minoso, the former Cleveland Indian player. No, they were. And so they're drinking them out, and they're not even watching the game. They're just talking all of a sudden here. Wow. Hey, look at that guy just hit a ball really a long way. Okay. And by the way, now, we were just talking the other day at work, and then they just go back to their conversation. And they'd rather hear all day long. They want to see home runs. They want to see, and I like a handful of runs scored, but I'm like these old school guys in the story here I was quoting. Something about watching that curveball drop from the clouds down to the ankle, watching the guy he doesn't even see it coming. Especially when the batter just watches it and just goes.
Freezes.
And like the guy said, was it the Braden guy that said, God, nobody can hit that. You just can't hit that ball. It's impossible. That's that's the beauty of it. But just doesn't work like that anymore. But that's okay. It's the game isn't designed for me. So home run derby tonight. Buxton's in it.
He's in it.
I wonder if he's in it to win it. Because again, a caution. If you'll remember, I think Justin Wardeau was involved one year, and I think he said, because he didn't play well in the second half of the season after the All-Star game, and I think he said, my swing kind of got out of whack a little bit because you're just swinging as hard as you can to try to win home run derby.
Well, and you're swinging for home runs, which is different than a normal at bat.
Now with Buxton, I'm not so sure. I think he likes to swing for the fences a lot. I just think I think Kevin O'Connell.
Good night until we meet.
Why did I say Kevin? Oh, it's because a text message just came. It said Kevin says, I haven't heard this kind of tap dancing since you're waiting for a Kevin O'Connell press conference. So we just wait. We're just getting started.
Does Buxton tonight, after every home run, do the little choo-choo train arm motion that he's got going on?
You know what inspired him to go hit for the cycle? Bobblehead night. That's what he said. Bobblehead night, man. Never has anybody in the history of baseball. There's a lot of ways to inspire you. Mostly just trying to win the game, but he was inspired by bobblehead night. Good for him. Tenby, thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit. It was fun today. We're back tomorrow at 12 noon. Rosen at 2. Big ticket JGR next year on the Fan.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Minnesota!
Good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Just keep battling. And just keep battling.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Welcome to the W, where elite athletes are redefining the game of basketball. From buzzer-beating shots, jaw-dropping defense, and logo threes, the WNBA delivers nonstop action and world-class talent every game. These athletes don't just play the game, they elevate it. The biggest stars, the brightest stage. AT&T WNBA All-Star 2025 comes to Indianapolis July 18th through 19th. Tune into the game July 19th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
This is Jana Kramer from Wind Down with Jana Kramer. When we were deciding on our appliances for the house, Samsung was at the top of our list. And I love my Samsung appliances, especially because they're so reliable. And with my busy schedule, having reliable appliances has been a game changer. It's no wonder Samsung is the #1 brand for customer satisfaction. That's why I'm excited to tell you all about Samsung's new line of smart appliances featuring their brand new bespoke AI laundry combo. This incredible magic machine washes and dries in one machine, one load, no transfers, no timers, no rewashing needed. New bespoke AI appliances. This is home living made simple. For more information, visit samsung.com/bespoke.
68-minute cycle based on 27-inch combos, based on using a super speed cycle only with a 10-pound DOE load, cotton 50% plus polyester 50%. Individual results may vary based on actual load content.
A treasure trove of bananas has been stolen, and it's up to Donkey Kong and his buddy Pauline to get them back. This unlikely duo is going on a world-smashing adventure, using DK's destructive abilities to explore an underground world, and the power of Pauline singing to activate wild transformations. Donkey Kong Bonanza, available July 17th. Rated everyone 10 and up. Only on Nintendo Switch 2. Game and system sold separately.
Saks off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is officially here. Time to dress like it. From breezy linen and floral dresses to chic sandals and beach-ready swim. Saks Off 5th has the designer styles you'll live in all season long. Plus, shop new arrivals every week. You'll find Alice and Olivia, Valentino Garavani, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.